In Hollow Knight, the kingdom of Hallownest began with the arrival of a higher being called the Wyrm, which transformed into the Pale King when the Wyrm's outer shell was cast off. But why take on a new, smaller form like this instead of keeping its original appearance? The Godseeker suggests that the Wyrm reduced its form to match our meager shells, meaning that the Wyrm took a form that was more similar to the bugs it found itself surrounded by when it first arrived in what would become Hallownest. She also questions why the Wyrm transformed in this way, saying that its true immensity could have inspired devotion all the more. Maybe she's somehow aware that not all the creatures in the vicinity of Hallownest accepted the Pale King's rule and thought that if he had remained in his original Wyrm form, then this wouldn't have been the case. One possible reason that the Wyrm shed its shell is because that is simply the natural life cycle of a Wyrm, and this part of it just happened to occur when the Wyrm arrived in Kingdom's Edge. More likely, though, it was a conscious choice. Possibly because the Wyrm was tired of constantly burrowing through the ground and across the wastelands and wanted something more permanent. It could also be that the Wyrm didn't want bugs to fear its immense size and wanted them to accept its role willingly. The Radiants, after all, received the attention and adoration of bugs mainly because she forced them to with her power. When the Wyrm realized that bugs became sapient in its presence, it may have wanted them to have freedom of mind and perhaps desired a little freedom for itself too. Also, many of the kingdom's pathways and tunnels are rather small and probably would have been difficult for a Wyrm to squeeze through if it didn't adjust its size somehow. Speaking of transformations, I'll use the last part of this video to talk about some upcoming changes to the channel. I've briefly mentioned before that I had plans to make videos about other media besides Hollow Knight. Well, now is the time that I'll start doing so. This decision is not at all because I'm running out of ideas for Hollow Knight videos. I've still got many more written up already, and I'll of course gain even more once Silksong releases. It's that there are plenty of other games, TV shows, and more that I also have something to say about, and I've written countless scripts for video essays about them. That was my plan from the start of this channel. The new format for the channel will be that every other video is Hollow Knight related, while the ones in between will be about something different. So the next video to come after this one will not be about Hollow Knight, but the one after it will be. Thank you all so much for your support so far, and I hope you'll continue following along with the channel as these changes are implemented. Anyway, why do you think the Wyrm shed its shell? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.